decision has served its purpose. It's been submitted to the Supreme Court because the prayer of Atiku, which that the position will help in advancing, is to substantiate his claims that the certificate that was submitted to INEC was forged. But beyond that, a lot is unraveling. For instance, there is an emerging information here that is showing affidavit upon affidavit sworn in time past. And these affidavits keep on contradicting each other. And we are going to be starting from that place to analyze the contradictions that are on those affidavits, how it manifests and shows even the deep-seated corruption that is in the Nigerian system, because all those things could not have been made formal, and yet we are suffering what we are suffering today. And so I would like us to start from that particular place. But before then, I don't know if there is anything, Ifeoma, you have in your thoughts so far to say before we go on now and begin to piece all these things together.
Yeah, Doc, thank you very much. Hello, viewers. Yeah, you are all welcome to this live session. Yes, it will be interesting to dig deep into some of these points that we have here, because today on Twitter, there was this video where the president was like bragging about his first class, and people were like, first class, where did he get it from? So this is one of the videos, I think they used it during the campaign, and you could see the APC people falling for what he was saying. They were like clapping and, hailing him and all that. But as it stands now, we all know that it is becoming clearer that the person we thought graduated from the Chicago State University possibly didn't graduate the way things are going now. And then one might think, why this bragging that he is the most recruited first class student? I'm going to be playing that video. Doc, please, it's just a very short clip.
Okay.
And then you will then comment at that point.
Most recruited graduates of I was one of those most recruited graduates of my university, multiple honors, first class degree. And I have the reference point. Those people are there.
So he was like saying that nobody can beat him, that none of his rivals could actually compete with him. He bragged about multiple honors and him being a first class graduate. And like we all know that today, Nigerians are like still struggling about how somebody claims to have attended so many schools, and up to today, we don't really have original documents to back up those claims. So Doc, that brings us to what we want to dig deep into today, about some of the schools that the president attended and they've all proven not to be real. Doc, over to you.
Okay, we will come back to this slide, but let me ask, do you have the University of Cambridge local examination certificate? If you don't have it, fine, we'll continue. All right, now, there is also an affidavit where the schools appeared. Let it not be what somebody typed on X or Twitter, as we formerly known as Twitter. Let us see that affidavit, because the person who typed this is just trying to make it for legibility what was written on that affidavit. So if you can give me that affidavit, beautiful. And this was the affidavit that was sworn in 1998 during the submission of INEC forms for the office of the governor of Lagos State in 1998. That was what the other person typed in the X. And I am going to read. If you can read from your own end, good. If you cannot read, I'm going to read from this thing here. If you go down, it says secondary school attended, including teachers, commercial, technical, equivalent institutions. And it is written there, Government College, Ibadan, 1965 to 1968. Richard Dale College, Chicago, okay, 1969 to 1971. Richard Dale College is the one we call the Southwest College now. It says tertiary institutions, including universities and colleges. Nigerians, listen again. It says here, University of Chicago, 1972 to 1976, BSc Economics. Chicago State University, 1977 to 1979. The degree, I think something cut it off, it was not mentioned, but of course, the noun says educational qualifications with dates. BSc Economics, 1976. BSc Business and Administration, June 1979. Certified Public Accountant, June 1979. Work experience, Arthur Anderson, Moby Oil. Okay, so let us go up again. How long have you been domiciled in the address above? Since birth. No, domiciled in Lagos since birth. Occupation, accountant, financial consultant, and businessman. Education attended. The primary school, St. Paul Arroyola Children Home School, Ibadan, 1958 to 1964. Now, while it is important that we get to this place, you notice that since last week, I've been pushing back. I've been trying to push back to know the date, the probable date that this particular runs, you know, the way we call it in Nigeria, the runs, this job, the probable date this job started. So far, the date quoted here is 1958 for primary school. So 2023 minus 1958. So this is a job that spans for 65 years, fellow Nigerians. This is a 65 years runs. You know what I mean? That has been existing. Why did I say so? Until date, that school, remember during the election campaign in this 2023, Festus Keyamo came online to say that his principal did not attend any secondary school, that nobody should bother that he's so intelligent that the first class materials in those days that they sit at home and write their GCE. Festus Keyamo, who was fighting for this cause alongside Gani Fawemi, tumbled to tell us Nigerians that his principal, who has probably promised him a minister and who has fulfilled it by making him a minister, that he didn't need to go to school, that we should forget everything about primary and secondary school. However, there is an implication here. The implication here is that a secondary school certificate, which was issued by Cambridge on behalf of Government College Lagos, popped up. And it popped up from Chicago State University. Because what was in this form here is Government College Ibadan. If you go to the forms filled at the Chicago State University, and the one, it is written that the school attended, the secondary school attended, was from Government College Lagos. Now, if you have that Cambridge University certificate, I don't know if you have it. I sent it to you. Can you publish it so that I can show Nigerians something from that Cambridge school cert? Cambridge, oh, Cambridge. So this thing moves to Europe from Government College Ibadan, which is in West Africa, Nigeria, West Africa. It moved to Europe, Cambridge. Okay. Now, that Cambridge says University of Cambridge, Local Examination Syndicate. If you are familiar with Nigerian educational system, you will understand the fact that because the Britain colonized Nigeria, you hear about A levels then. I remember that even when I was in secondary school, that was when they had started phasing off A levels. But they said then that if you still pass A level, you don't need to write JAMB again. JAMB came to replace what the likes of Cambridge and Oxford them used to do. Because people go to secondary school in Nigeria, when you finish, you now prepare for your A level and write your Cambridge exam. And they use selected secondary schools as their syndicate. So this is the Southwest College, not Cambridge. The one carrying the Cambridge, I sent both of them. All right. So in those days, when you finish your exam, it's just like what is happening today, like what is called study center these days in Nigeria. If you have a study center of a university, maybe University of Liverpool, or maybe even a university, there's a whole lot of US universities now that have study center in Nigeria. You stay in Nigeria, you attend your courses, you log into your account, you do all your assignments. When you finish, the university will send you certificate from the US or from the UK or from Spain or from whichever country that the university is coming from. That's how it used to be. It's not a new thing. It's not a new thing. And so the Cambridge certificate that was presented, not this one, if you found it, please check through the messages I sent to you. You're going to find the Cambridge General Certificate of Education, which is popularly known as GCE. GCE, General Certificate of Education. In that place, it says local examination. This is to certify that the candidate named below sat for a joint examination for the higher school certificate and general certificate of education and qualified for the award of general certificate of education. The candidate passed at the level shown in the subject named and attended the standard of the GCE advanced or ordinary level, passed as indicated. In that certificate, it says that it was awarded in November, December 1970. Did you find it? Did you find the certificate? Okay. That it was awarded in November, December 1970. Now, if you remember, beautiful, 1970. If you remember the affidavit that we just listened to now, it was said that the secondary school that was attended, which is Government College, Ibadan, was from 1965 to 1968. Okay? So let us clear Ibadan. But remember that the Old Boys Association of Government College Ibadan, when they heard that one of their boys had grown to become a governor in 1999 era, they were planning a party for him, a welcome party. Our old boy had become a governor until the scandal broke out through Gani Fawemi, and that party was collapsed because they couldn't identify the person. So apparently, in order to accommodate this certificate, between 1968 and 1970 was when this exam was purportedly written, and this certificate was issued. Purportedly issued. Because That's what we are told. Nobody knew about this particular certificate until Chicago State University were able to release the document they have. But that also takes me back to the convoluted information Chicago State University provided. How can they say that they don't keep some record of their past students and they still had in their record the admission document that was taken from a student, and they don't have graduation documents of the student? Nigerians, are you reasoning something? I was listening to a program early this morning. I've forgotten the name of that guy. He used to be a former graduate of that university and who used to be an editor of their magazine until they closed it down. He's an American. One channel featured him live, and he told them in that program that Chicago State University is riddled with corruption to the extent that one of the former presidents of the university had been tried for fraud and jailed. So you realize now that birds of the same feather flock together. It's not hard to identify a system where such kind of sharp things can happen. But let's keep it there. So you have seen that as far back as 1950 something is when this particular runs. This, the more you look, the less you see. Since 65 years ago. And thank goodness that, as they say, truth will always outlive the lie. So far, there has been massive new employment of senior special assistants for this, for that, and all of them is in media management. So these people are not leaving anything to chance. As FBI file is about to be unleashed, they are hiring. Okay, look at it here. It says from 1958 to 1964, St. Paul's College, St. Paul's Aroloya, false. Government College Ibadan, 1965 to 1968, false. Richard Day College, I don't know. We know that is a female that we saw in the transcript. So do we call it false or what? It is written here, inconsistent. And then Government College Lagos, where the certificate was obtained in 1970, false, because that Cambridge certificate that was obtained in 1970, Government College Lagos started existing 1974. Number 5, University of Chicago, 1972 to 1976, where he obtained BSc in economics, false. Then yours truly, the all-important Chicago State University, which is at the center of the whole thing, which is like the ripcord that released this parachute of information, is from 1977 to 1979, where he purportedly obtained Bachelor of Science in Business and Administration. There is also another one that is not included here, that he's a certified accountant. I was listening to David, and David says, this is a university body, just like ICANN in Nigeria. That's just like ICANN in Nigeria. Certified public accountant. Go to the website of public accountants in the UK. Type the name and see if you're going to find it. So how could the whole Nigerian be treated like this? It's simple. Just because, number one, we don't care. We have never cared. Now, remember that in the 1999 era, there was no internet then. People literally had to go. People who have mail then was Hotmail. AOL, American Online. People who want, if you want to make international call, then you have to go and depend on INEC. By 1998, 1999, I'm sorry, I say INEC, NITEL. All trunks are busy. Please try again later. You go to business centers and you queue to be able to type your letter. So it is not easy for people to access information then. Anybody could tell you a lie and go scot-free. And then they think that they can sustain this same lie even in this modern era. In fact, I am even disappointed in PDP and Labour Party. Because all this information that is today in the public domain, how couldn't they have themselves made it available before the election? And when Enahoro by himself got the one he got, what importance did PDP, SDP, Labour Party attach to it? I am disappointed in them. Because if they have taken it up, if they have pursued it, if they had done what Atiku is doing now, before the election, or before the... Do you understand? How couldn't they have done that? Just the tardy nature of the way we do things in Nigeria. That's why people get away with this kind of thing. But I am also happy that we, even if the court, the Chief Justice of the Federation have read the Riot Act to us by telling us that the Constitution is superior than our opinion. There was another one I want you to publish before this one, actually. The fake certificate website. Before. Because this one will help us. We have seen this last week. How that the certificate that was submitted to INEC is a model of certificate that was the logo had changed around 1998, 1999. Now remember that someone swore an affidavit in the same 1998 saying all my academic credentials were read by unknown person. And the person, again, had to give us a certificate that was signed by staff of Chicago State University. The staff who were working in the 70s, the logo of the 70s, but it was signed as though it was 1979. This is a website, Replacement Diplomas. If you go online to check it, you'll find it. You're going to see different universities. You can see Rowan University. You're going to see different universities. Ashworth College. You're going to see different universities, including Chicago State University. You pay there. See what is written there. Fake diploma makers with a variety of styles available. When you need transcript, certificate, or replacement, novelty, or fake diploma, shop the #1 trusted online source at diplomamakers.com. That's their name, diplomamakers.com. Diplomamakers.com. And remember, see what they said there. They said they can even generate transcript for you. And remember that the so-called people who are telling us, they say, oh, the university can only give transcript. They use third party. How do you ever use third party? Even if you write, third party is simple. Third party is like, that in Nigeria, I know a lot of my friends who sat in Nigeria and wrote exams to become ACC. I don't know. There's this professional body in the UK that issues, that is an accounting body, just like ICANN in Nigeria. A lot of Nigerians have gotten that qualification without traveling to the UK because they have their licensed centers where those exams are written. They also have all those places. So when you write that exam in Nigeria, it is exactly the same exam you're writing in Nigeria that they are writing in Ghana. That's what they are writing in UK, and they are writing it at the same time. So when you hear, okay, ACCA, yes, ACCA, that is it. I don't know what's the acronym. I'm not an accountant. But in Nigeria, our own is ICANN, Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. Because I know my friend who is an accountant. He has ICANN in Nigeria. And then he told me he's writing ACCA. I'm like, what is it? He said, this one is the British own. And even the tax system of UK, they have to study it from Nigeria. So when you hear third party, don't think that it is just a graphic designer that will say, oh, because there was one APC guy, Lemon or something, I can't remember his name, who came and said that that you can even design your own certificate. I'm like, oh, so it is now a birthday card. It's now a Valentine card. You can even design your own certificate. Do these people even reason? In Nigeria today, there is a company known as VFS. VFS. People think that they are the British High Commission when they go to do their visa. Do you know that when you go to do your visa, everything you do in Lagos, you don't have, if you're going to India, if you're going to France, Schengen visa, UK visa, all of them, VFS is a consulting firm, is a UK consulting firm that many of these embassies hired as a third party to help them conduct biometrics, do this. So they give them access to their database, because if you do your biometrics, they capture it and it hits Indian embassy. Can VFS now go and develop their own software that is not going to be tied to British High Commission or Indian High Commission or Pakistan High Commission or what have you? The answer is no. So when you hear that, Chicago State University, they're using third party. You know why I'm saying this is because somebody said yes there and I believe it. That don't be surprised that the Supreme Court will say to you, that a third party may have issued the certificate, that it is now the responsibility of he who alleged to prove, to go and find that third party. When you find the third party, we can establish whether the replacement certificate, whether it is fake or real. Just imagine. And that was what Festus Keyamo was saying. Festus Keyamo has taken it as a position, and he's a minister in this government. And trust me, there is every possibility that our Supreme Court is going to say, oh, third party may have issued this. Go and find it. It's your responsibility to find the third party. When there is no way a third party can issue any document on behalf of the issuer without the authorization of the issuer and the specimen provided by the issuer. Do you understand what I mean? Our money, most of our money, Naira, is printed in the UK. That's third party, even though we have mint in Nigeria. Is that particular company in the UK going to just say, oh, I like Nigeria, let me just give them the design of Naira like this? Is it possible? The answer is no. The Central Bank of Nigeria must define for them the kind of security code they want, the kind of design, everything, and then they will execute it. Why are these people making us feel like we are illiterate? Why? Why? Let me pause here. Do you have anything in your mind to say? Because there is something that is out of this thing that is bothering me that I want to bring in.
Yeah, Doc, thank you. I just wanted to say, APC, they've come out to say that this certificate is a ceremonial certificate, that you can just design it to your own taste. And you just made reference to that. Honestly, sometimes when I think about the way these people come out with boldness to defend this forgery that is clear, even to the blind, that something went wrong somewhere. I just keep imagining the kind of people we have in sensitive positions in Nigeria, honestly. And even up to today, they've not still realized that something is wrong to even show remorse. They would
No.
rather come.
Okay, finish, Ifeoma, but I beg to differ. Finish. Say, finish whatever you're
Yes,
saying.
because we've seen the president appointing more media aides, people that will come out to defend them. Because I don't really think there's any sign of remorse looking at the way things are playing out. Rather, you see them coming out to media houses to like say that he never forged any certificate. And I just hope, for me, I'm just hoping that the judiciary will just like play its role as an institution that Nigerians should really rely on.
Okay, can I come in? Two things. Number one is, show me any certificate that is not a ceremonial document. Show me. Here, in my library here, are my certificates, the ones professional bodies they issue to me and co. I keep them here. It can get burnt. That does not make me not to be who I am. Do you understand? Marriage certificate is a symbol to say, is a symbol that carries the people who got married, the day they got married, and the place they got married. You don't need to wear the marriage certificate to become married. It is your marriage that gave birth to that document, which is a ceremonial document. Okay, so let's put it this way. Our law says any ceremonial document you have, is it okay? Let's stop calling it certificate now. Any ceremonial document you have, like the ceremonial document of Chicago State University, give INEC the original. Don't give INEC your own. Does that make sense? Don't go and create that ceremonial document by yourself. Don't go to adjust it. Don't create a new one or modify an existing one. Let it be given by the body. It's for ceremony, we agree. But let it be given by the body who conferred you without qualification and say, carry this as a ceremonial document. How do I know that every certificate is ceremonial? If you want to go for a master's degree, or when you want to go for a PhD and you have master's degree, definitely they will not chop the certificate. They will ask you to bring the transcript so that they can see the courses you did. Whether there is one you need to make up for, or the one they will waive for you. Like if you have ICANN from Nigeria and you want to write ACCA, they're going to waive some courses for you. But if you're coming from a different background, maybe you read maybe you read engineering and it's a professional certificate, they will give you some courses to do more than someone coming from ICANN because of the transcript. Ceremonial certificate, ceremonial document, yes. So you recognize that it is ceremonial, yet you swore an affidavit to tell INEC in 1998 that your ceremonial document got lost. If it is not that important, why did you swear an affidavit? Why did you swear an affidavit? If it is not that important. You could have just made a call and say, please, someone, why did you go to Chicago State University and indict the university? Said, I'm sorry, you went to Chatham House and indicted the university by saying, the university has sent me my replacement. It didn't say it is third party. So the logic here is this. If the statement at the Chatham House implies that whosoever or third party that may have been authorized, that they acted on behalf of the university, it means that whatsoever error that the third party incurred or liability should be also the liability of the university. That is the principles of delegation. When a delegate delegates responsibility, transfers responsibility to a delegatee, it's always they always advise that the delegate must be conscious of the competence of the delegatee, the knowledge of the delegatee in terms of the regulatory requirements, legal requirements, and professional requirements, because the overall outcome or the output of the delegatee, the man who will still be responsible will be the delegate, the man who delegated the responsibility. Do you understand? So let's put it this way. If the university said, we cannot attest for this, it means that their so-called third party in the first place did not abide by the specimen given to them by the university. It's a simple logic. It's only in our courts that our own judges, I don't call them judges again, I call them carpenters, because they are no longer carrying, they now carry tool bag in their bag, in their tools in their bag, with which they can technically knock off the law we are seeing and replace it with their own. They are mechanics, they are technicians. So that is it. Your point number 2, you say they don't shame. No, 2, they are mobilizing, using government money to hire more media aides, because all these media aides do not come to talk about the policies of government, but to defend a person that should use his own money to defend himself. They are now using government money to come and defend a person instead of them to defend the policies of the government. You see it? And finally, you're talking about shame. Tinubu's son, haven't you heard it in the news? Is flying the presidential jet from Abuja to Kano to go and club. I call it clubbing. He went to watch a polo match and he flew presidential jet. And they gave him presidential reception. Security men and co, including the governor of the state, came to receive a private citizen.
Oh my God.
You didn't see the video?
I saw.
Okay. So, you think they care and they're living that kind of life. You think they care. They don't care. They tell you, do what you can do. They don't care. Well, I don't know if you have another thing. I think we're gonna call it off here for tonight.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. But there's this video that I've always been playing today, because this guy, he's an obedient guy, and he made some striking statements. For those who watched the videos that I streamed today, you witness that I streamed this particular video often, because this guy made some striking statements about the sitting president. Please, if you permit me, let me just quickly, it's a very short video, and let's just listen to what he has got to say.
Good morning.
And this is
I really want to say
every
this.
Nigerian.
It's been on my mind and I cannot wait anymore. I need to say this. I have a problem with all these TV stations that call people to do interviews or speak on their stations, and they always try to, make up real issues, more like. So you see Kenneth Okonkwo talking about the certificate of Bola Tinubu and calling it a forged document. And you have a problem with him calling it a forged document. You see somebody like Dele Farotimi talking about the document, and you have a problem with him calling it a forged document. And you said it has not been proven in court. I don't know what we are turning to in this country. Sincerely speaking, I don't understand. Did a court prove that Mmesoma forged her certificate? I want to know, was there any court that proved that young girl forged her certificate? It was only JAMB that came out and said this document did not emanate from us, because JAMB is the issuing authority. And it was enough for us to say she forged the document. So why do we need to romance the word when it comes to Bola Tinubu that he forged the document? For heaven's sake, the provisions of the law are clear and you cannot change it. Section 137 subsection 1 paragraph J is to the effect that anybody who has presented a forged certificate cannot be president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I don't know what I want sugarcoat. I don't know how you guys want to do it, but he presented a document for which the issuing authority has come to say we don't know that document. We did not issue that document to Bola Tinubu. So don't try to sugarcoat. I know you are afraid of sanctions and all of that, but don't even bring them to the station if you are not going to allow them to talk. Forgery is forgery. Bola Tinubu presented a certificate that was not issued by the issuing body. He issued a forged certificate to INEC. The issuing authority claimed that they did not give him the certificate. They did not make the certificate. They did not append their signatures on it. Be serious for once in this country, I beg. Well, I don't really understand this thing. It's Bola Tinubu, one man. He has a life like every other 200 million Nigerian in Nigeria. Why would they sugarcoat all this matter? I better make all of an arrest too. The issue remains he cannot be president. He should be disqualified. Simple. And let me just tell you guys now, if you allow Bola Tinubu to be president, if the Supreme Court refuses that document, because there are already claims that they want to refuse, if they refuse that evidence that Atiku has gotten, you don't have any moral right to call anybody a forger of certificate. You don't even dare. Every criminal in Nigeria must rule Nigeria on that basis. And let me tell you, you know what you're already selling to the public. You already know what you are selling to the international community. So more will just they play. More will continue the things saying I play with they play. They're already rejecting Nigerians across the world, and Unati saying I still play with they play. I beg you.
Yes, Doc. I think he passed a very powerful message across here.
No, he did not pass a. He passed loads of messages.
Yes. Yeah, because this case is a very serious one. So somebody asked a question here, because for me, like I've always told you, even in our last live show, I talked about Chicago State University, that for me, I think they are not really coming out boldly to distance themselves. That institution has not distanced itself from this very certificate we are talking about. And you could, during the deposition, I felt the lawyer was just trying to force out words from the registrar, as if he wasn't really that willing to release all the information that he had with him. So this person is saying that CSU must face the music for aiding and abetting, which is really, really the fact. And this other person equally commented along that, and he said, I think we Nigerians outside should take Chicago University. Somehow, it appears they are trying to help somebody. And David Houdin was saying that they've opened a criminal investigation. How do we balance these two things? Because from their body language, we've not really seen any seriousness to like distance themselves. I mean, the registrar and let me just say the management, they've not really come out to say, oh, we separate ourselves from this, we distance ourselves from this. They are just trying to manage, if not for the way Atiku has even pressed on. These people never came out when this rumor was out there. They didn't just like, we saw them shutting down their Twitter handle and all that. They were not responding to messages. People were bombarding them with email. They weren't responding. And then Atiku managed to find his way, to get this information. But still, during the deposition, I didn't really see the man, being that open to give out relevant information. And one keeps asking, does it mean there is a role they are playing intentionally?
Okay. The truth of the matter is this. I sent you the deposition document as a drive, and our viewers, you help me post it to them so that they can get it. In fact, if it is possible, you can post it now so that anybody who is
I've done
interested
that already.
can download
in
it.
the comment section, please. You can just check and scroll
Beautiful.
to get yours. I already attached the link there.
Excellent. Secondly, let it be known, it's been confirmed, and it is true, that Chicago State University is a cesspit of corruption. It's just another Uluole that is in the US. It didn't start today. Historically speaking, some of their president is like what we call vice chancellor, have gone to jail for sharp practices. It's not in question. So they know, Chicago State University knows that if they throw everything in, they will collapse the roof on themselves. But unfortunately, you see, this thing may have lasted. The Chicago State University component of this job may have been from 1979 till date. But you can see that this is a heist that had been in effect for more than 60 years. There is only how so long that a system can stay. So far as it stands, this thing is exposed. Can you imagine affidavit upon affidavit that is popping out? It's not even the one. This affidavit we displayed yesterday did not come from Chicago. The one we displayed today did not come from Chicago. They came from Nigerian courts. So Chicago can continue to soil themselves, but it has not changed anything. You see, Nigerians are getting even more convinced these days that they don't even care what the Supreme Court does, either yes or no. Nigerians are coming to terms with reality that this victory is in context, and there is a side of it we are already winning. The kind of, did you listen to Dele Momodu yesterday? Oh, you need to listen to Dele Momodu. Dele Momodu was on his channel talking, saying that they are begging them to stop. People like him who have voice should stop posting things in the social media again. That he's a Yoruba man. Why can't he protect his brother? If he will not say something that is positive, he should not say at all. And there is something Dele Momodu said. He said that these people, that the people he hired to do the job for him are not even smart. He said, someone who knew all the mess that had existed since 1999, that you couldn't clean your slate. He said, it requires nothing. Do you know, to be a president, for the fact that he had been a governor is a qualification. If he had gone to INEC and just decided to present one document and say, this is the certificate that proved that I was a governor of a state for 8 years. The law says INEC is at their own at liberty to assess you, and they can clear you. He didn't even need to submit this thing because they said school certification or its equivalent, or at the liberty of INEC. And because what qualifies you to be a governor in Nigeria is also the same qualification you need to be a president. If you had been a successful governor for 8 years, you don't even need to submit any document if you want to be a president. Just fly your proof of you have been a governor before. According to the Hausa man, Gaskiane, you're sorted. But they want to, you saw him in the campaign saying that he graduated with first class. You see the thing? And now they are hiring more people to be their PR managers, while at the same time they are trying to suppress the truth from the media and hire more people to tell more lies. But thank God, like Aisha Yusuf said, there are multi-million television. As we are talking now, We have people from different countries. Please, if you're from the US, can you just type from where you're coming in the comment section? I am in US, I'm in Canada, I'm in Australia. NTA, I don't know if NTA is reaching further than us. I checked the other time, we're about 300 people listening. And there are multiple channels saying the same truth today. Multiple channels saying the same truth. The Sahara Reporter is there, the Voice of the People there, Ned Media there, Obidati Family TV there. I mean, 1,001 every day. They can't silence Nigerians. They can't. How much is Arise News even covering? How many people view Arise? How many people view Channel? Put Arise, Channel, NTA, TVC together, even AIT, even though you know that all those ones are pro-Nigeria, but put all of them together. They are nowhere near other independent people who are just interested in the truth. They can't cow Nigerians again. And if they decide to perpetuate themselves in power, they know that they will be their ranking in the minds of Nigeria. Look, sorry. One of the demands people placed here was Nigerians overseas, not even Nigerians overseas. There is what is called class action. Nigerians in Chicago should just file a class action suit against Chicago State University, period. The class action. And I am happy. Today I saw that there is a campaign that has started against Chicago State University. It's directed to the governor of the Chicago State. You know, this campaign, online campaign, gathering signatures. It's already on. It's already on. They shut down their social media because of Nigeria. Nigerians made them shut down their social media. Nigeria is just one country that made them shut down their social media. But that's not enough. Probably before this thing is over, it will not be their social media. They will shut down their official media, maybe shut themselves out. Nigerians.
Yeah, let's take some of the comments while we call it today. Okay.
Oh, yes, of course. Twitter space is called the X now. X space, yes. France, Europe. People are in France. Okay. People are in Nigeria. Emmanuel is in Nigeria, UK. You see? All over. All over. All over. You know? This thing that Tinubu is doing is I wish exactly.
Oh
exactly. I hope you know that Pablo Escobar won. He exposed himself by going into politics. Who is US citizen by the same name? She's alive and a medical doctor. She lives in New Mexico. It's possible. It's possible. But the thing is, that I listened, to be honest, with all due respect, I listened to a program where someone is saying that someone who had that same name, who is a medical doctor, is graduated from University of Ife and is pretty much younger person. So I don't know, because 1979 is a whole lot of years, if you must know that. Yeah. Is our National Assembly waiting for national what? National what? National Assembly is
when they have the majority.
They are enjoying what is happening. Let me tell you the politics of National Assembly. National Assembly is enjoying what is happening. You know why? Because now the presidency cannot put them under pressure. Any bill they want now, any inflation they want now, any padding up they want now, the presidency will just easily
Signed
it for them. So they are the first beneficiary of this heist. Forget National Assembly. Oh, no. Akpabio is the most lucrative Senate president of our time because he became Senate president when the credibility of the presidency is at the lowest level. And he's exploiting it. Has he not set up the office of the First Lady of the Senate? Yes. And who is going to challenge that? Yeah, you're right. Yes, so this FBI thing, let it come. Let it come quickly. All right, let's call it a quit. We've got some other engagements to connect to now.
Yeah. Doc, thank you. Let me just quickly rush this comment so that
Mm. Yes, so I agree with you. They are pulling all stops. Yes, I agree with you. They don't even care. They have grown thick skin to accommodate whatever criticism. They just do their thing. Mm. Of course. Mm.
yes. So guys, we want to say thank you. I think we have some people that also indicated where they are watching us from. Yeah, let me see. Why can't they get hold of the social security? Yes, so this social security number, what role can it really play in this what I call it investigation?
The thing is, Social Security is what, in order, if it is in the UK, they call it national insurance. Social Security is not only issued to citizens, Social Security is issued to anybody who is a legally um, resident person who is entitled to work. It's like it's like the number given to anybody who can work in a system, whether you're a citizen or not, so that they can use it to, you know, pay you pension when you retire, make sure you're paying your tax and other things. So to me, I'm not even attaching more value to it, even though the numbers in the social security are conflicting. But if he had social security when he was living in the US, it's not a fraudulent thing. He's entitled to it. That's all.
Yeah. So guys, thank you very much, Doc, for your contributions. I want to say thank you to our viewers for staying with us to the end of today's show. Thank you. We really appreciate your presence. Please do well to like this video. Just give it a like so that YouTube will see need to recommend it for more people to watch. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell for future updates. And with this, I want to say a very big thank you for being a part of today's live show. See you again same time tomorrow. God bless you and good night. Bye.
Thank
No,
you.
thank you
Great.
and good night.
And you too. Bye. Great.
Bye.